Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib. We have a great show for you today, and if you want to call and ask questions, you can call in right now at 323-870-3857, and we'll be here till about 8 o'clock tonight. And today, we're going to talk about Beeb. Scored a big interview this week for you guys, man. Big interview this week with Bob Arum. He's going to talk about when boxing's coming back, how it's coming back, what they're going to do. Plus a lot more information. We got Terrence Crawford involved in there and everything like that. So a lot of information. Beeb, that was an awesome interview. We'll talk about it here in a little bit. But yeah, that was really good, man. Really top stuff, man. So let's get started with it. The Fantasy Heavyweight Championship final, Mike Tyson versus Muhammad Ali. This is a good one. This is what we kind of been building for through this whole COVID thing. Haven't got any real boxing, so we had to make up our own, Beeb. This is how it goes, man.
It's all fantasy.
It's all fantasy.
It's all fantasy right now. It's virtual boxing.
That's it. Just woke up and, hey, that's it, man. Just go ahead and dream about these fights. So Mike Tyson beat Sonny Liston, Joe Frazier, and George Foreman to get to the finals.
You mean Muhammad Ali, Eric?
What? Mike Tyson
You
beat
said Mike Tyson beat Sonny Liston, and those are people that Muhammad Ali beat.
No,
Robert.
See what I'm saying?
Tape it up, Robert. Tape it up. Tape it up.
I know I should have left him
right
on mute,
now.
Beeb. I should have left him on mute.
Mute
man.
this guy.
This is what happens.
We're talking about the fantasy tournament victories.
This is what happens.
Real life.
This is what
sorry.
happens.
Okay.
This is what happens.
Tape it up.
Guys.
This is why we should have
Tape it up, Ringside Roberto. Tape it up, Ringside Roberto.
See what happens, Beeb?
No, I
Beeb,
did.
you see
I
what
deserved
happens?
that. That was
see what
bad.
happens?
Sorry.
Who's producing the show? Who's producing the show? This is what happens, Beeb. See, I should have left him on mute.
I mean, this is
left
how
him
it
on
is,
mute.
man. I mean, I got like 700. I got like 700 signatures on that petition to bring him back, but I don't know now.
I don't know. I mean, it is what it is.
I don't know what I'm going to do now.
Yeah.
Hey,
Go ahead.
Perfect. I'm sorry, guys.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Okay, Robert.
He just completely ruined the flow of the show, B.
Okay, Robert.
I don't even know if I can go forward now.
You know how high strung Eric gets. You know how he is.
Look at this. I'm back here
I
in
know.
the setup.
I forgive you.
Beeb Industries set this up. Look at
forget
this
you, Robert.
Beautiful logo right here.
I mean, look at the office we set up.
The office we set up
for
for
him.
him. Look at this. Let me solo layout here. Look at that. Beeb Industries did this for us. This is a new Beeb.
Look at the ensemble we put out there
Industries
for
Tower. And this, we started off, and I get interrupted right from jump.
Right from
jump, Beeb.
Okay.
It was right from jump.
Okay.
All right.
Grab a cup of coffee. It's okay.
All right. I'm just, I don't know. I don't know.
It was my bad.
It was your bad. Nobody's disputing that. Of course, it was your bad. What's the matter with you?
Lois, make sure we get a tax write-off.
Lois,
for that renovations to Eric's office.
Renovations. It's unbelievable. Beeb Industries did a great job in here. It, we're on the fourth floor here in the Beeb Industry Tower. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Great studio here. As I was saying before I was interrupted, Mike Tyson beat Sonny Liston, Joe Frazier, and George Foreman to get to the finals. Muhammad Ali beat Tyson Fury, and he just waxed Tyson Fury, I don't mind saying. Right, Beeb?
This tournament's going to have an asterisk at the end of it because
asterisk, you got that?
There's going to be an asterisk at the end of this because it should have been Fury and Foreman in the finals.
Fury,
okay? We had some real incompetent judging throughout this tournament.
Incompetent.
And I'm going to file an appeal with the commission. I'm doing it. I'm doing
So
it.
Eric, what he's saying is Raphael Dawkins, myself, and you have not judged properly.
I don't know that he was
Raphael
referring.
Dawkins.
Yeah,
Don't throw
right.
Raphael Dawkins under the bus.
Wow, Robert just went there. He
Robert.
just went
you're the
there.
type of guy to start a fight and then grab someone and pull them in front of you and go like this. Now, don't throw Raphael Dawkins under the bus.
Right. I mean,
he had a bad night. I mean, that was a bad day for him. He's usually a good judge. That was just one bad day. You had a couple bad days.
wow.
Okay, Robert?
Ooh, low blow, Beeb. Low blow.
Wow.
Low blow.
I mean, I can't expect you guys to have the hawk eye like I have, the eye of a hawk to score fights.
Wow, Beeb. That's kind of going too far, don't you think?
Not
Wow.
necessarily.
Oh, that's terrible. I don't know, man. That's rough.
Well, hey, Eric, just look at it this way. We're in the cage and he's trying to abuse us.
Oh, it's terrible, Beeb.
You're lucky we have the social distance, Robbie.
That's right. Social distance. We're usually me and Beeb are usually in the same room when we do this. Now we got a social distance.
Social distance,
I
man.
mean, now that is what it's all about,
I'm usually flying out there on the weekends.
Gee, virtual. What it's called is virtual social distancing. California, Massachusetts, and Ohio. So
Titletown, baby.
Titletown.
Titletown. All right, Robert. Mike Tyson versus Muhammad Ali. You're going first. You're on deck. Give it to us.
Well, this is going to be a fantastic fight. They both, in their primes, had tremendous speed, tremendous foot movement, tremendous defense. It's going to be a hell of a battle back and forth. They're going to slug it out, and they're going to show everything that made them both great heavyweight champions. But in the end, I think experience will win out, and I think Muhammad Ali will knock out Mike Tyson.
Whoa!
Knock out.
10th round and become the undisputed all-time greatest heavyweight champion ever.
Wow!
10th round knockout, Muhammad Ali.
Ho! 10th round? Wow!
Wow.
A prime Mike Tyson? Wow! That's on a ledge, son.
Hey, Buster Douglas was able to do it. So
That wasn't
I
a
think
prime
Muhammad
Mike
Ali
Tyson. I don't think that was a prime Mike Tyson to
because
you.
Muhammad Ali was as fast, if not faster, than Mike Tyson in his prime.
All right. Hey, Muhammad Ali. Robert picks Muhammad Ali. Beeb, I'll go first. You'll do cleanup, Beeb. All right.
I'll do cleanup.
You do cleanup. You show us how it's done. All right. So styles definitely make fights here, man. This is a tough one to call. Let's break it down for a minute here. Let's go power. Power belongs to Mike Tyson. No questions asked. I think Mike Tyson, and not that Ali couldn't knock you out, Mike Tyson the power belongs to him. No question. Speed. I think this is a push. I think both fighters had speed. Footwork, I would give a slight edge to Ali, but Tyson was very skilled as well. When you look at speed, you look at Muhammad Ali, the way he moves around the ring, Mike Tyson had more of that explosive speed. Hand speed, man, it's just, to me, it's a push, Footwork, like I said, would belong to Ali. Just a slight edge, though. Just a slight edge, man. Boxing ability, this is another category that I would push. Both fighters, I believe, are very even in what they do. They're both very good boxers. They both bring a lot of speed. A lot of, Mike Tyson brings the power. Ali brings very good boxing ability, the very, very, very good movement, everything like that, anything you want. So this, to me, is another push, man. This fight is fairly even, man. So when I was doing the research, when you have a fight like this, you have to look at the styles. And throughout his career, the fighters that were able to give Tyson trouble had a good jab, i.e. Lennox Lewis, Buster Douglas. Muhammad Ali, on contrast, though, had trouble with guys like Joe Frazier, Henry Cooper, who fought Ali really aggressive. And that's what makes this fight interesting. So how would this fight actually go down? There was one fight in history that when I was breaking this down, I couldn't stop thinking about. And I went back and watched it. That fight is James Quick Tillis versus Mike Tyson. The fight took place when Mike Tyson had about 19 fights. So you could argue that this was definitely before Tyson's prime. I think it was like five fights later, maybe 5-6 fights later, he fought Trevor Burbeck, and then the rest is history. But this is when he was coming up. And you could also look to the Tony Tucker fight, where Tony Tucker took him to different. You could look at the
Bone Crusher Smith.
James Bone Crusher Smith. Mitch Green, not the street fight, of course, the actual fight in the ring, where he took him the distance. And those guys that took Tyson the distance, they were not Muhammad Ali, you know? And so when I'm watching this James Quick Tillis fight, Tillis had a great defense. He had a very good top defense, man. He had a good jab, and he had very good boxing ability. James Quick Tillis was not Muhammad Ali, but I think we can draw some parallels with this fight. Mike Tyson actually won the fight via unanimous decision, but many people watching that fight say it could have gone either way. A lot of people gave Tillis the fight. You know, if you watch that fight, now I gave Tyson the fight slightly, but if you watch that fight, that's a very, very good fight. It's a very close fight, even though Tillis was knocked down. Very close fight. What's that mean?
I had it like 6-4 in rounds for Tyson.
Yeah, that's a close fight, you know. Tillis gave Tyson problems with jabs and movement. The defense also frustrated Tyson. And, you know, when I'm watching this, who could have imagined Ali in there with Tyson that night? Now, granted, that was it was before Tyson's prime. But of all the things we could say about Tyson throughout his career, the guys with the great jabs, counter-punching, the Lennox Lewis, Buster Douglas, Evander Holyfield, James Tillis, Bone Crusher Smith, as you mentioned, Beeb. I think this fight looks a lot like the Tillis fight. I really do. I think that Tyson fights very well against Ali, but Ali's jab and defense is going to frustrate Tyson. Tyson always had the issues with the jab. You know, somebody who could jab and move really gave him fits. Tyson will do good work to the body at points during the fight. But at the end of the day, Ali's ability to control the fight with his jab will make the difference here. I don't see any knockdowns, but I do see Ali hurt a couple of times in this fight. That being said, I think the fight goes the distance. My pick is Muhammad Ali by a very close majority decision. I would say 115-113.
Yeah. I was thinking of that James Quick Tillis fight as well. That stuck straight in my head when thinking about this fight. But here's a couple things to think about. Now, when you take that Muhammad Ali that fought Sonny Liston, you could argue that was the best Muhammad Ali right there. And that Mike Tyson that beat Michael Spinks, that was the best Mike Tyson. So you take that Mike Tyson that beat Spinks, and you take the Muhammad Ali that beat Sonny Liston the first time. That is one hell of a fight. Now, it's been said so many times that Mike Tyson beat a lot of his opponents before they even got in the ring, before the first bell even rang, because of the intimidation factor. But let's look at Muhammad Ali. Who was more intimidating than Sonny Liston, the big bad bear?
Big guy,
as they called him. Everyone was afraid of him. Ali was like a 6-1 underdog in that fight. And another guy who everyone was afraid of, the big monster, George Foreman.
Right.
And he wasn't afraid of either one of those guys. So Mike Tyson's intimidation factor, Muhammad Ali being even a little bit nervous in this fight, it just wouldn't happen. Okay. And as fast as Mike Tyson was, okay, and with that bob and weave style, he still did get a little reckless at times, even in his prime. When he was frustrated, he would still reach in with shots, and he left himself open because of that. So if he couldn't get inside on you and you were able to keep him at a distance, he would get desperate, and then he would start reaching. Okay. And another thing too that people don't realize is Mike Tyson used to come in a straight line. He never came in at an angle. what he would do is he'd bob and weave, but his attack pattern was straight ahead, straight forward. He never came in at an angle. So you got a guy coming straight, and then you got another guy like Ali who's constantly circling. So as fast as Tyson is, Ali's going to keep making him switch up his the angles. He's going to keep shuffling his feet because he's going to be moving forward, and Ali's going to be circling, and he's going to have to shuffle to the side. He's going to have to continuously reset because Ali's going to keep circling him. And then if he does get close, Ali's going to grab him, pull him behind the head, pull his head down. And then, Muhammad Ali also leans away, very unorthodox-like. And by leaning away, Tyson's going to have to reach even further because he's going to be leaning away. Couple that up with Ali's height and reach advantage, and then the lean back that he likes to do, that patented lean back move that a lot of fighters did. Lennox Lewis did it. The Klitschko brothers did it. It's very effective with tall fighters against short fighters, leaning back. Okay, so he'll be leaning back, and then Tyson, even if Tyson hits him, he's not going to be able to hit him flush. So I see Ali circling, and I see Tyson having to keep resetting and keep shuffling from side to side and trying to pin Ali down. And then on occasion, if he does get inside, I see Ali grabbing him, pulling him down behind the head. And then Tyson's head's going to be looking at the mat, and he's going to be like trying to fight his way out of the clinch, and he's not going to be able to have his eyes on his opponent to actually throw punches when he's inside. So I just see Ali really frustrating the hell out of Mike Tyson and just pecking away with jabs. And sneaking a right hand down the pike every now and then. And I see Tyson being nullified on the inside. And I also see him having real trouble with Ali's movement. And I see him having a lot of trouble with Ali's jab because you are 100% correct. Tyson had a hard time with guys who can just keep sticking that jab in his face. Buster Douglas put on a clinic with that jab. And Ali, along with Larry Holmes, you could say probably have two of the best jabs in the history of the heavyweight division, arguably. Right?
I think
so. With all that being said, I think Ali wins a pretty clear decision in this fight. Tyson's got a good chin, and I think he'll be able to withstand Ali's punches, but he'll still be piling up the points. But I think Ali's not a super duper huge puncher. Tyson has pretty good stamina, so I just think that Muhammad Ali would win a pretty clear-cut decision in this fight. So I'm going to go with Muhammad Ali by unanimous decision.
There you go. It is unanimous. All three judges choose Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali is the heavyweight champion of all heavyweight champions, the Fantasy Finals heavyweight champion. There you go. Beeb, this was pretty fun. This was fun.
Great. I mean, we need a little bit better judging, but other than that, this was awesome.
I agree too. Somebody, you know what's crazy? I can't even remember who it was because we've had a couple of judges through this whole thing. Somebody actually picked Tyson Fury over Muhammad Ali.
That guy's a genius.
What a moron, man! I mean, here Ali is in the finals. Here Ali is in the finals.
That guy was.
Won the whole thing.
He should be called up for every big fight that boxing even ever has.
I think
they should have that guy. The Nevada State
That's who it was. Adelaide Beeb.
The Nevada State Athletic Commission should have that guy. Should have that guy on speed dial. They should have that guy on speed dial.
Adelaide Beeb. That's who it is.
Listen, you guys caught a lot of flack last week. I had to defend both of you guys.
Is that right?
For picking Tyson over Foreman last week.
He beats Foreman.
There's no way.
Beats Foreman.
Guys, does Tyson beat a prime George Foreman?
Yes.
Let's hear it in the chat.
Yes, he's too quick.
Let's hear it in the chat.
He's too fast. He's too strong, man.
Yeah, in Sega Genesis, but not in real life.
What were you referring to? I was going to Sega Genesis. Now Fight Night too.
Yeah.
Robert, what are your thoughts on this?
Hey, I've done tournaments with you before, Eric, and these are always fun to do. And this is a great way to fill up time while we're all dealing with COVID-19 and heck, I'm looking forward to the next tournament you guys decide to do, because these are lots of fun.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Reese Mack said that James Quick Tillis is no Muhammad Ali. Yeah, that's kind of the point.
We already said that. Yeah,
right. That's kind of the point. In fact, that's the basis of our argument, because Quick Tillis gave him all he could handle. Yeah, but
what's Ali going to do?
You were right. What's Ali going to do to him?
Exactly.
My goodness.
Yeah, and one of the things I kept thinking about is exactly the point you brought up, Beeb. He dealt. Muhammad Ali dealt with George Foreman. He dealt with Sonny Liston and was not intimidated at all. Matter of fact, the more intimidating that Sonny Liston tried to be during the first fight, the more Ali kept egging him on to do it. It didn't bother him one bit.
This is great when school's in session. It's great having students that pay attention when I'm teaching. This is so great, Robbie. Thank you for being attentive when I'm teaching class.
I think his new name should be Ringside Roberto. I think so, man. That was great.
No.
Gonna get you a sombrero and call you Ringside Roberto.
I don't have one drop of Mexican blood in me, so I don't think that would work.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll do.
Are you a Chavez fan?
Well, yeah, I love.
There you go. That's all you need, baby. That's all you need. That's all you need. Get him sombrero, baby.
Senior,
He's
not
one of
junior,
us.
by the way. Not
Junior.
Senior, not junior.
Who's a big fan of juniors?
I love Junior, man.
You love Junior.
Who else can friggin' put a pair of pink underwear on and hit the pads in their living room while eating a bowl of friggin' Honey Nut Cheerios?
That's awesome.
I mean, who else can do that and pull it off?
And I say I'm not a fan of Junior, but I got the green Cleto Reyes gloves. The Reyes gloves. This guy put a pair of pink Hanes boxer shorts on, then put a pair of pink boxing gloves on, and had someone in his living room. They moved the couches around, hitting the pads.
Oh,
and then he was eating a bowl of friggin' Honey Smacks. Well, what's better than that?
Not much. I tell you what, not much. Not much.
I mean, please.
It's my routine every morning, so hey.
Right.
All right, Robert, we're going to let you go. Thank you so much, man, for being a judge, man. It was great to have you back on again. Now, Robert's got another show at 8.
Guys,
Go ahead.
Yep. And I look forward to coming back, and whenever you guys want me. And sorry for the screw up at the beginning. That was strictly on me.
Well, that was unfortunate, Robert. That was unfortunate.
Eric just is not a very understanding person. I mean, I already forgot about it. Eric will be talking about it for a couple of weeks. Don't worry about it, Robbie.
Do you believe he screwed up like that, Beeb, in the beginning of the show? I mean, completely messed it up.
Just let it go. Eric, let it go.
Just saying.
It's okay.
All right, guys. It's been great.
All right,
Robbie, stay safe. Robbie, stay safe.
I'll catch you later.
All right, man.
Be careful
we'll talk
out
to you.
there, Robbie. Be careful. Make sure you wear your mask.
Social distancing.
Wear your mask when you go outside, Robert.
That's right. Wear it.
Maybe
wear it with pride. We had to have Ringside Reporter masks. That's what we had to do.
Maybe inside too. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I take that back. I take it back.
Messing up the show like that. Interrupting me, Beeb. The beginning of the show. Aaron Daly, thank you so much. He says, shout out to Ringside Roberto. That's the greatest ever. Beeb, Eric, Georgie, and Jason, always a great show. Thank you, sir. There you go. Chris was in the other room. Wood's silly, man. Wood is silly. All right, let's go to the phones real quick. Area code 312. Chicago? Is it Chicago?
I think that's
White Doctor or Kevin. It's one of the two. 312, you're live.
Fight Doctor's in the house on Rick James status as always. What's going on, gentlemen?
Fight Doctor, what's happening?
Fight Doctor, it's always a pleasure. How you doing tonight?
Doing well, gentlemen. Doing well.
Can you believe?
Shout out to Ringside Roberto.
That's his new name. The sign that just stuck.
Can you believe Tyson Fury was eliminated from the finals? Could you believe Tyson Fury was eliminated from the finals, Fight Doctor? Isn't that blasphemous?
listen, I don't think Tyson Fury beating Muhammad Ali is a lock. You know, I can definitely see that fight going in Ali's favor. You know, given Ali's resume and his, you know, I know we talked about a lot of things that he did wrong, but, you know, in his space, you know, in what he did right, he was extraordinary at what he did right, you know. So I could definitely see him giving Tyson Fury some problems.
Okay.
But in terms of Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, I think you'd have to favor Tyson. You'd have to favor Ali in that fight.
Yeah.
Tyson in his prime, you know, he never really dealt with a heavyweight who had a good jab outside of Larry Holmes. And, you know, he caught Larry Holmes there at the right time. You know, Holmes was coming off a 2-year layoff, and I think he only had 6 weeks to train. You know, and you know, they're asking him to fight the number 1 heavyweight in the world after a 2-year layoff and, you know, short training camp. So I think that was a bit unfair. So I just don't think that we can really gauge what a Holmes Tyson fight would have looked like based on what we saw when they actually fought. You know, in a guy like Muhammad Ali, you know, good movement, excellent defense. Actually, I take that back. Excellent movement, excellent defense, excellent hand speed. You know, just impossible to hit. And I disagree that we saw prime Muhammad Ali in the first fight with Sonny Liston. I think we saw prime Ali in '67. I think the '67 version of Ali is the best that we've ever seen. And that guy against Mike Tyson, I think Tyson would have everything he could handle and more in front of him. And yeah, I would favor Ali in that fight.
Very good. Very good.
So there's not a whole lot else going on in the world of boxing, gentlemen. Seems like the UFC has stolen boxing's thunder.
For sure. Absolutely. For sure it has. You know, UFC had 3 shows this week.
Yeah.
3 shows this week, man.
Right.
It's been crazy.
Yeah. So they gave us a good card last weekend. They gave us a good card last night. So it's like, you know, the powers that be in boxing are going to need to figure something out, because right now we're just looking like boxing is about to be the forgotten sport. As much as I hate to say that, but it's sort of like that's what it seems to be coming to.
Well, the UFC is the first major sport to get back, and they've cleared baseball. I think baseball is going to be cleared because it's a low contact sport. I believe that'll be cleared. Soccer, I'm not sure when soccer's coming back. I don't know when I don't know when and if football's coming back, but we got some time for football. Yeah, so all these sports are going to come back, and when they come back, they're going to be without fans as well. So I don't know. We still may be looking at some time here, but I think the longer this thing goes toward the end of the year, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. You know, I mean, if you can't put on the fights in front of, you know, a live audience, then like how did the big fights get made? I can see the smaller fights getting made, but how do the big fights get made?
That's true. That's very true. That we'll be talking about that actually. We'll be talking about that later on in the show. But yeah, that's a big issue. That's a big issue. Smaller fights will get made, but those big fights that they rely on that gate for, those are going to be a little trickier, little trickier. So
yeah.
So yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah. Oh, and one other thing. Yeah, shout out to Judge Adelaide Beeb. You know, always doing good work. Turning in top-notch scorecards. So yeah,
best scorecards in the business, man.
Yeah.
They got me on speed dial over at the Nevada State Athletic Commission.
Indeed. Okay. The measure, the yardstick by which other judges are measured, definitely.
I'm one of the best judges in the business.
So yeah, guys, that's all I got this week. But yeah, guys, keep up the good work.
All right, Fight Doctor. Thank you so much,
Fight
man.
Doctor. Thank you, Fight Doctor.
Good stuff. Yeah, it is. It's like I said, man, it's a very, very slow week, man. Just the fact that we had a fantasy fights on for the past month or so, it's like, what in the world?
We got to come up with another tournament now.
Yeah, I think we might have to before boxing comes back. I don't know when to figure it out.
You know what we never did?
What?
The cruiserweights. But is there enough cruiserweights to even do it? No, we can't do it, right?
No.
You know what we should do? You know it would be a great tournament?
Welterweight?
Super middleweights.
Super middleweights might be interesting.
Yeah, because we haven't done that. Like that's a turn that we never seen anyone do.
Wouldn't Roy Jones clean that up?
No.
Who beats Roy Jones?
Andre Ward.
You think beats Roy Jones?
Calzaghe, Andre Ward. They could.
Man, I don't think anybody.
Well, Roy Jones is undefeated. Well, technically, he lost to Montel Griffin at 168.
Yeah, he didn't. I mean, he
really didn't lose that.
Yeah, right.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of people will agree with you. I mean, but who did he really beat at super middleweight besides James Toney? Who was another big name guy that he beat at super middleweight?
I mean, Roy Jones was just so quick, man. I mean, that was.
Yeah, but again, you got
guy. But what was his best weight then? 175. I mean,
well, he was good at all. He was good at every weight.
All of them
until he got knocked out by Tarver, and then it was all downhill.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree with Reese Mack. Roy at 168 was on another level, man.
I don't know. I like Andre Ward at 168.
Really?
I like Calzaghe. I think Calzaghe.
And listen, man, I'm big fans of both of those guys.
Listen, here's the thing. Calzaghe was 37 years old when he fought Roy Jones, and Roy Jones was 39. They were both past it, and Calzaghe waxed him.
Yeah, I mean, Roy was way past it though. Roy was way past it.
But Calzaghe retired his next fight
against Bernard Hopkins, wasn't it?
No, the Roy Jones fight was after the Bernard Hopkins fight.
I thought it was before that.
I think it was after.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it was after.
Manny Gatillo says Calzaghe is overrated. Son, let me tell you this. Calzaghe
I love Joe Calzaghe.
Overrated. Calzaghe was one of the best boxers in history.
I love Joe Calzaghe.
I do too. He was an amazing fighter. Amazing fighter.
He had really bad hands. He had worse hands than Floyd Mayweather. Poor guy.
How about his father, Calzaghe's father, who was his trainer, never boxed a day in his life.
Never.
He's a music guy. How about that?
Yep.
How's that for some trivia?
Yeah, Calzaghe's last fight was Roy Jones.
Was it Roy Jones? Okay.
Yeah.
I knew he fought those two like in succession.
Yeah.
So
he retired. He retired after that fight.
Insane, man.
37 years old. This is a guy that beat Mikkel Kessler.
When Kessler was expected to beat him, Kessler was like the next coming.
Sakio Bika, people thought
solid fighter.
Jeff Lacey was going to beat him.
Yeah, that was his coming out party, the Jeff Lacey fight.
Right.
Welterweight. Who would we have at welterweight? Floyd, Pacquiao, Sugar Ray Robinson.
We could do
Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran.
Yeah, we could do the welterweights, but we've never done no one's ever done the super middleweights. And that's a pretty solid division because think about
it. Definitely solid.
We have Calzaghe. Here's what we could have now.
Let me ask you a question though.
You know who else we could throw in there?
Who?
I don't know if I would want to throw Sugar Ray Leonard in there because he only fought there like twice.
Sugar Ray Leonard will get waxed at 160.
Yeah, we're not gonna put him in there. You know who we could put in there? Who fought there a couple times? No, we could put fucking Tommy Hearns in there.
We could.
I don't think we should put Leonard in there because he really wasn't a super middleweight.
No.
We could put Duran in there though because he did fight. Well, no, because he wasn't really in his prime.
Did he fight Barkley? Around Barkley at 168?
No, 160.
That was 160.
160. Now you know we could put in that one. We could put Carl Froch, Andre Ward, Joe Calzaghe, Roy Jones, James Toney. There's 5, right? Did I say Kyle Froch already?
Yeah.
Could put Mikkel Kessler in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we can. I don't know if we should put Arthur Abraham in there because he lost. He lost. No, we won't put out. We won't put Arthur Abraham in there. We could put some of these guys in it, like we could put David Benavidez. You think we could put David Benavidez in there? George Groves in there, maybe?
No.
No, they don't. No.
168 is. They've got good Bernard Hopkins. We could put him in there.
He never fought at 168. He never fought at 168. Never.
No, he sure didn't, did he?
No.
He went straight to 175.
No.
Let me ask you. Well, okay, so Outlaw says featherweight, please. Pacquiao, Marquez, Sanchez, Salvador Sanchez, Barrera, Morales, Nassim, Lomachenko. Man, that's not a bad lineup. I'm not hating that.
Yeah, we can do the featherweights.
Welterweights. Let me ask you a question because welterweight is stacked as well. We've already done a lightweight tournament. Welterweight is stacked as well. Could you go against Could you pick against Sugar Ray Leonard? I know you're a Sugar Ray Leonard fan.
At super middleweight,
it would be tough for me. But the reason I ask you because it would be
no,
tough
I could
for me
pick
to go
against him at super. I could pick against him at super middleweight.
It would be tough for me to pick against like Chavez or Aaron Pryor.
No, but we'll think about it.
I mean,
think about it. I had him losing the Tommy Hearns fight at 168.
Yeah,
he lost that fight.
He clearly lost the fight. Yeah,
there's no question about it. There's no question about it. I would throw Tommy. I would throw Tommy Hearns in there.
Chris Eubank, Nigel Benn.
Chris Eubank, Nigel Benn, Graciano Rochachetti. We could throw him in there.
He was the one. I tell you what, that's the one that Roy Jones never fought.
Michael Nunn. Michael Nunn was an awesome super middleweight.
Yeah, he was real good, man. He was real good. Is he still in jail? I thought he was out. He's out.
Came out. He's going to be fighting.
Out. He's going to be fighting Pat Miletich.
Yes.
And like some kickboxing or boxing. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Michael Nunn could fight, man. Michael Nunn was pretty solid.
Nigel Benn, Chris Eubank. You know who else we could throw in there? Collins. Steve Collins was a good super middleweight.
Stevie Collins, yeah. Stevie Collins was good.
He was awesome.
All right, so I think we got it between the featherweights. I think we got it between the featherweights and between the super middleweights. Not a bad lineup.
Sven Otaki.
Yeah,
he was good.
He wasn't bad.
There's a lot of German guys that were good at super middleweight.
But you got to wonder how they would have held up versus, because a lot of them didn't fight the top American guys. You know what I mean? Like
that's why it makes it great now because now we can fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Now we can make those. Yeah, now we can make those.
I'd love to do the super middleweight.
Yeah, I like featherweight. I don't know. We'll figure it out, man.
What do you want to do? What do you guys want to do in the chat? You want to do super middleweight first and then do featherweight next, or you want to do featherweight and then super middleweight? What do you guys want? Oh, Gerald McClellan too. Gerald McClellan. See, I love this super middleweight. I'm getting excited about the super middleweights, man. Because no one's ever done a super middleweight tournament. I can't remember.
Hang on one second. Let me see something here.
What do you guys want? You guys want a featherweight or a super middleweight? I think I want to do a super middleweight, but if everyone wants to do the featherweight, you can do the featherweight. I'll succumb to the majority. Only one person said featherweight, so I don't know. What do you want to do? You want to do featherweight first? Let's think about it. Let's think it over. Let's kind of get a list together. Yeah, we got time. We got time.
It'd been awesome if Ricardo Lopez was a featherweight.
I know.
Oh man, that guy was the best boxer ever. Best one ever. All right, let's go ahead and move on. We'll talk about it. We'll do a show on it, and then we'll announce the fighters. Let's see here. Centurion Sun says, "What do you think of Eddie Hearn saying he will make fights in his backyard?" Well, a couple things about that. Let's actually go into that one for a second here. Eddie Hearn making fights in his backyard. He doesn't have a backyard like you or I. I think that's the first thing you guys got to realize. Eddie Hearn had actually done an interview, and he said it's a huge mission. He said, we're going to turn our headquarters here into an outdoor venue for live boxing with a full canopy in the middle of the garden and a ring overlooking London. He said, we're building changing rooms for fighters, setting up a space for ring walks and everything like that. He also says that he said testing and isolation are the major challenges. Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. No, I mean, that's a pretty big deal. Testing and isolation.
I agree.
That's huge, Dillian White and Alexander Povetkin are expected to take place August at this type of venue. I don't know and I don't know how the UFC does it. I don't know how the UFC has got a lot of money. The UFC has got a lot of money. I just don't know, when you think about it, and Matchroom has a lot of money. Yeah. How do they get this stuff done? How do they isolate these guys? I don't know. And this is going to reach, you got big promoters like Bob Arum, Matchroom, PBC and stuff like that. You got the big promoters. The one thing you're going to have a problem with, like I said, I said this when the whole thing started, your local shows are going to suffer. The local shows, the up and comers, and where you get that first generation of fighters, that's where this is going to suffer, and it's going to suffer big time.
Well, Eddie Hearn said he has like a hotel already lined up to put the fighters in and stuff like that, and that's where they're going to be tested. But these are the two big questions that I had. And I was actually talking to Jason about this because Jason's sitting there trying to argue with me about this. And then I had to keep posting. I actually had to post little links that said the gyms were closed because the boxing gyms are closed.
Right.
Wild Card Gym is closed.
What's he arguing about? I don't understand what's he arguing about.
He was lying to me. He's like, oh, no, they're not closed. The private gyms are open. I mean, what do you mean private gyms?
No, they're not.
All the gyms are closed.
I tell you what, if they are open, they could definitely get shut down. But you know what? Maybe he's right. Maybe in Georgia they're open because Georgia and Florida, I think, have opened everything. I think I
don't know, but I know the Wild Card Gym is closed. I know Gleason's is closed. I know the Robert Garcia Boxing Academy is closed. And then people were telling me that gyms in the UK are closed. Now, Top Rank does have a training facility. I think Bob said that he'd have the fighters train there, sort of like the UFC's training facility. But how are you going to coordinate that? That's the big thing. How are you going to coordinate that? And how are all of the fighters who have fights going to be able to work around each other if you only have one gym?
Well, you have to, if you do have one gym, which I've heard this theory too, you're going to have, hey, from 12 to 2, this guy trains. From 2 to 4, this guy trains. 4 to 6, and so on. I mean, that's what it's going to have to be. Now, Wood says that gyms were open in Toledo and Virginia too. What is that? I mean, well, I guess Wood would know, but
I don't know.
He said gyms were open in Toledo. How is that even possible?
But here's the thing, though.
You talking about boxing gyms, Wood, or just even like regular gyms?
I don't know.
Because nothing's open in Cincinnati right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I called Wild Card yesterday. I looked it up. They're closed. Robert Gleason's is closed. Yeah. Robert Garcia. I'm talking about like all the big gyms where the big fighters, the big name fighters train. To my knowledge, all those gyms are closed. Now, again, they could train at a Top Rank facility. I don't know if PBC is going to have a special facility where they can, like if they have a special facility like Top Rank does. I don't know. But a lot of the big gyms the big boxing gyms are closed. So I don't know. And then people were telling me that the gyms in the UK are closed. So it's going to be challenging for all these fighters to be able to train. I'm guessing. I don't know.
All right, let me see this here. Give me one second.
JC says the gyms are not open here in Virginia, Maryland, and DC.
Yeah, I've got it right here. It says gyms and fitness centers, dance studios must set capacity limits to allow employees and clients to stay 6 feet apart, according to state safety protocols.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cincinnati.com. Equipment such as exercise bikes must be set up 6 ellipticals, that kind of thing,
Okay.
6 feet apart.
Okay.
Everyone has to use hand sanitizer. But gyms, all those open up on May 26th in Ohio. This is at least the law in Ohio.
Yeah.
So I don't. And let me see what.
Wood says some of the smaller.
So Wood saying, he said that some of the smaller private gyms were back running this week. I think that might be illegal, man. I don't know.
No, I don't know. I mean, I
think if they're open,
he may be right though, because like for instance, in Florida, the UFC's training center is allowed to be open.
In Florida, professional sports and entertainment is a essential business, so they can be open.
Okay.
So they're allowed to be open.
Yeah.
So May 26th is when gyms in Ohio can open. So if it's a private gym, even if it's a private gym, I don't know. I mean, they may be operating. We had a couple incidents here where the bars opened up here. We had some restaurants open up and they like tweeted out some pictures of people that were real close together. Yeah. And they said, absolutely not. They threatened to actually close them down.
Yeah. So I guess some gyms are open, some aren't. So depending upon where these fighters live, Wood says Terrence Crawford's gym is back operating with a small group. Where's his gym? In Omaha? Yeah.
I would imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But a lot of these fighters that are from New York and from California, they're probably going to have to travel to train then.
California, you're not opening up anytime soon.
Nothing's open. There's a lot of fighters that reside in California. They're going to have to travel, I guess, to train. So.
Yeah, because California, they're on complete lockdown over there, man. They've got.
He says Beeb Industries is opening up a new. I'm contemplating on turning one of these rooms into a gym for real. My only problem here is I got low ceilings because I want to put like an elliptical in here, but I think my head would hit the ceiling, so I may have
really?
My ceiling's at 7'6".
Oh wow, okay.
And I'm like 6'1", so I'd be cutting it real close. I'd be smashing my head up on the ceiling.
Man, yeah, that was the problem I had at the old house. I had I had my elliptical in the basement, but it was like the basement was like tiled or whatever, like the ceiling tiles. Yeah. And like when it would go up, if you went up too high, your head would be, thing. And I'm like 5'7", so
I wish I was 5'7" sometimes.
I wish I was 6'1". So there you go.
What is that? What is a skier? What's that?
What's this?
JC's telling me to get a ski. SKIERG. What's that?
I don't know.
A skirg? What's that?
Or assault bike. What is an assault? Yeah. Assault bike is poor people's Peloton. That's what you should get. Let me tell you what. That's what you should get is one of those Pelotons. They are awesome.
What are those like now?
Huh?
What are those like?
Those are nice, man. They go. They give you like classes on them and everything. So like my dad rides it all the time, man.
Is it like a bike or is it like a stepper?
It's like a bike. It's like a stationary bike. It's got this huge TV screen on it, Okay. And you can adjust everything on there. You got like classes and everything on there that you could take, or you could just free ride. Okay. It's really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to check it out, man. They're really cool.
Okay, so Wood's saying that some of these gyms are open in certain parts of the country. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's and that, I could buy that for sure, but I'm surprised that gyms in Ohio are.
I'm moving to Texas because I can't take this anymore, man. I feel like it's
yeah, you guys are completely locked up over there.
No, I don't want to be 5'7". You're right, Wood. Wood says, you don't want to be 5'7". Nah. You're right.
Yeah, but now you guys got to wear masks when you go out and everything, correct?
Oh my God, I got to wear masks everywhere.
Yeah.
Pretty soon they make me wear a mask when I'm taking a shower. Think of it. I feel violated right now.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. This was interesting. I tell you what, this next one was interesting too. So Teddy Atlas, you know how everybody's going nuts about the Mike Tyson thing, about him doing the comeback and everything like that, and the video clips that he's done. Teddy Atlas actually posted a video on social media breaking down Mike Tyson's recent workout post. Quote, Teddy Atlas said he digs to the body, moves his head. That was one of his signature moves. He'd move his head, make him miss, create an opening, like I said. Decent speed. The speed is still there, he said. He's throwing with bad intentions. He's putting his body into it, swiveling into it, putting his back into it, putting every ounce of himself into it, not just hitting the surface. He's actually going through the surface. He said great athletes never lose their genetic gifts or muscle memory, and fans always dream. It's all good, he said, but maybe we can hold off on the 10-fight deal. Glad Mike Tyson looks happy and healthy. So there you go. So he did look good. I mean, he did look good on the pads, man, for sure. But
you know what I read?
We're seeing chopped up clips, and I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
You know what else I read too is like Holyfield is kind of dropping hints that he wants that.
Oh my God, why?
I'm buying it, Eric. I'm buying it.
We're sick, Beeb.
I want to see it.
We're sick.
I want to see it.
And I complain about it now. 100%. I'm watching it.
Love it, Eric. Stop pretending that you don't love it. You love it.
I do. I'm miserable. I'm a miserable person, Beeb.
What else can we do right now? What are we going to do? Play Yahtzee? We have nothing to do right now.
Yahtzee champion in this house, buddy.
Look at this. Can't even get a haircut. Look at this mullet.
Oh, look at look.
It's like one of those pencils. Remember one of those pencils when you go like this to it and it has that big fuzzy hair? Look at this mullet. I feel like I'm in in that band Skid Row. Remember yesterday, walking hand in hand.
Love Skid Row.
Love Skid Row.
Whatchamacallit? Yeah, so the haircut, the salons opened up over here. The haircuttings, the barbers and stuff like that opened up over here.
Tell me that. I'm so jealous.
Only one person, I guess they would call you in, everybody sitting 6 feet apart or whatever. I called when they opened. There was a 3-hour wait.
Oh,
and you couldn't even check in online after that. Because they after 2 hours, they just locked it up. They said, no, you can't. You got to come in and then put your name in or whatever.
You know what else sucks?
I ended up cutting my hair at home. I ended up cutting it at home.
I was asking my brother maybe to just give me a whiffle with the clippers.
Yeah, just get dude. It's easy. It really is. I cut my dad's hair. I cut my son's hair, and I cut some of my hair, and Lisa helped me with some of my hair too. So it was a team effort with me.
Just getting a whiffle.
Just put it on 4 and then just give yourself a cut, man. Seriously, it's not that hard. It really isn't.
I was actually calling up girls, man, saying, do you cut hair? Do you cut hair? And everyone's like, no, I don't cut hair. They're laughing at me. none of my old honey dips cut hair, man.
Your old honey dips. That's what you should do is you go on to Tinder and then say like, hey, which one of you ladies want to cut my hair,
Look for a friggin' a hairstylist or something.
Look for a hairstylist, dude. That's the way to do it.
How do you want the
Well,
what are you saying?
He's getting me a steak tip salad, but I'm not going to eat it today. I'm going to eat it tomorrow for lunch. Nice guy, man. My brother's been really nice to me lately. We're starting to bond.
Awesome.
We're starting to bond. This quarantine is really starting to make us bond here.
That's right. That's a good thing. That's good stuff, man.
Lois is getting along with him now.
Love it. Love it. Family love. That's what it's all about. That's what it's about here on Ringside Reporter. All right, Beeb, why don't you talk to us for a little bit? You scored an interview with Bob Arum. A lot of people ripped off that before we even go any further with that. A lot of people ripped off that interview that you did with Bob Arum, pawned it off, didn't give you any credit, didn't give us any credit. You know how hard Beeb works for these interviews. You know how hard we work for these interviews. Like when Beeb always gets Bob Arum. He always lands a Bob Arum interview. Bob Arum really likes Beeb. You can tell by the interviews he gives. You guys can go listen to it on our channel. Bob Arum really likes you. You can tell, and he actually enjoys talking to you because you guys got a really good rapport together. But I tell you what, man, the people that those people that just grab the snippets from these interviews and write stories about them without giving you any credit, giving Ringside Reporter any credit, is just ridiculous. Ridiculous, man. People were making videos about it. People were writing stories. And these aren't like small time, some of those stories that, I was reading, they weren't from small websites. These are from bigger websites, At least give them some credit and give Beeb some credit, give Ringside Reporter some credit, something. I mean, come on, man. That's just ridiculous, man.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
It really is.
A little disheartening.
It really is, because you know what? I will tell you this. Anytime Beeb does anything, he gives everybody credit. He gives them credit. Logan Wolf, cut the porn star sideburns, Beeb, and you'll be fine. He does. He looks like a 70s porn star now. Look at
That's
it.
horrible. That's horrible. Oh, God.
All right, Ron Jeremy, why don't you tell us about your interview with Bob Arum?
So the one thing that I was really curious about is this whole rematch clause, because people were writing articles about Wilder's people proposing that they would take step-aside money, the $10 million plus a guaranteed shot at the winner. And my problem was, when I was reading all these articles, was I wasn't seeing any official quotes from Deontay Wilder saying these things. The old dreaded sources was in front of all of the claims. So that was one thing I wanted to really nail down, and I wanted to get some clarification on that. That was the one thing that I definitely want to get some clarification on. And also, we've been hearing that Top Rank's coming back June 9th. Okay, well, what's the fight going to be, and how are you going to do it? And he laid that out perfectly. Something, he's going to do something very similar to what the UFC did. I asked him, did he put together, like a 30-page manual, a safety plan that he could present to the Nevada State Athletic Commission? He said, yeah, we did something very similar to that. And he says it's even better than what the UFC did. I don't know how he can claim it's better when he hasn't really seen what the UFC did, but you know how Bob is. He's kind of cantankerous like that. He likes to take shots at Dana White.
They don't like each other. Yeah.
They don't like each other. But here's another thing too. So we were talking about how some of these big fights are going to get made, right? Because of the concern of not having the live gate. And Bob was like, well, we'll take them over to Asia, because their restrictions are way loosened now, because they didn't have nowhere near the problems that we had. And he took a shot at the president, saying, we didn't sit on our ass for 2 months.
He's right. He's right.
So, look for some of these bigger fights to get done. Maybe the Wilder Fury fight will be in Asia somewhere. That'll be something, right?
Listen, I mean, they got the Ali fight in Zaire. Ali Foreman fight in Zaire. Yeah. The Ali Frazier fight in Manila. I mean, listen, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah. And then the one big fight that I was definitely looking forward to was the fight of the year for me, and a lot of people were looking forward to this, was Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez.
100% fight of the year. 100%.
And he's shooting to get that fight done, hopefully in September.
That's insane.
Yeah, and that's not going to be in front of a live crowd. And I know Teofimo Lopez already voiced his displeasure about that, but
man.
He's going to try, get them some pay-per-view upside to kind of lessen the blow of not having the revenue from the live crowd.
That was one I was shocked to hear.
Yeah.
When he said we're just going to go ahead with it, I was like, whoa. And I was shocked to hear that.
And if Terrence Crawford can't get Errol Spence next, then he's looking for Manny Pacquiao or Sean Porter. So, a lot of people complain about Terrence Crawford's opponents. The Kavaluskas fight, no one really was happy about that one. But Kavaluskas gave him more than he can handle. Like, it looked more competitive than I anticipated it would be, even though I thought Crawford clearly won the fight. But Kavaluskas, he came to fight. And I think he showed a little bit of maybe a little bit of vulnerability in Crawford. Not a lot, but a little bit, maybe enough to make Pacquiao want to get in the ring with Crawford, because he sees a guy like Kavaluskas have some success. Now Pacquiao seems, judging by what Arum said, that they're looking to make that fight. And if they're looking to make that fight, I'm sure they must have reached out, and there may have been some communication back and forth. I don't know that with 100% certainty, But now, there's been rumblings that Pacquiao would take that fight. So in a unification fight. So if that fight, it's either going to be Pacquiao or Porter. I don't think it's going to be Spence because Spence said he's going to
doesn't want to fight him next. Yeah, he's going to fight.
Yeah, he just wants to fight someone else in between. So
so
that's great. So we know Crawford's going to be in there with a really good opponent in the next fight. And he said that fight could possibly be overseas as well. That could be in Asia as well.
Do you think? Let me ask you a question real quick,
sure.
Beeb. You talked about Pacquiao and Crawford. I don't know what the climate is in the Philippines, but any chance that fight could take place there? Again, I don't know what the climate is as far as like the COVID.
I don't know
and how things over there. But
I don't know if they could generate the money they need that needs to be generated for that fight to be worth both fight as well financially.
What about that financially? Yeah,
I don't know.
Not it may not be.
What if they put that fight in Macau?
Macau, yes, because I
have a feeling Bob's going to be putting a lot of these fights in Macau like he did before because there's a big casino over there, and that's kind of like it's
Pacquiao
China.
doesn't like fighting in America either because of the tax situation.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like that's China, but not really China because it's kind of almost like an island unto itself over there, Macau. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I'm anticipating possibly that Fury Wilder fight could happen in December or January, and possibly in Macau, and maybe a Crawford Pacquiao fight could happen, maybe January, February as well, or probably February or March. Who knows?
I thought that was interesting when you guys talked about the Tyson Fury fight, the Tyson Fury Wilder fight. What I thought was really interesting about that was he says, well, that's thinking outside the box. Hey, we're just going to take it to another country. We can get a gate to another country. Wow.
People,
I
don't realize.
Yeah.
People like Bob Arum's like 81, 82 years old. This guy's still smart. He's sharp as a tack, bro.
Yeah, he is.
People think, that Todd DeBuff was running the show over. No, Bob knows what's going on too.
Right.
Bob knows what's going on. He's still with it. He still understands how to get things done, and he knows what's best for the business. And another thing that I love what Bob said was, he said, I said, Bob, I'm happy to see that you got things, moving full force straight ahead. I'm really excited. And he goes, no, don't just be excited for me. Be excited for everyone else because Aaron's coming back in July. PB's coming back in July. So this is going to be, we're all in this together. Like, so he's looking to make. He's not part of that. This side of the street, that side of the street. He's looking to, not be a part of that. He doesn't want to deal with the politics and the promoters. He wants to get these fights done.
Yeah.
He realizes, we got ESPN, they got, Fox, we got DAZN. There's a lot. There's a lot of money to be made now. There's a lot of platforms, a lot of networks putting up tons of money.
Right.
Let's share it. Let's share in the pie. There's so much money in boxing right now to let it just squander it away.
Well, there's
what I'm saying?
A lot of ground lost.
Yes.
Because of this whole thing. I mean, we've been shut down for, a couple months now, I guess, where, there's a lot of ground now to be covered.
Yeah.
So what was it? Was it CBS? I think CBS or one of those networks are going to start showing like movies every week now, like the old type movies or whatever, like they used to on Sundays.
Well,
and that just shows you there's nothing going on. So if you could put sports in there, they would pay for that.
But here's another good thing though. They're going to have like release movies, but have you buy them pay-per-view on your TV now.
They should.
They're going to be doing that. And if they do that, these theaters are going to be out of business.
Well, I read an article. Now, that said that some things that are going to go by the wayside. They said more people are going to work from home than ever before. That's going to be like the new thing is people working from home because people realize, hey, we're paying for this big office and they can do the same job at home. So why are we doing that? That doesn't make any sense.
No, I agree.
One of the other casualties they said were movie theaters. One of the big movie theaters, I guess, is refusing to one of the big like Cinemark or something like that. I don't know which one it is, but they say they're refusing to show movies by Universal because Universal released that one that Trolls movie or whatever during this whole thing instead of letting it go to the theater. That was a big movie, I guess. Oh, wow. So I think, given the climate and everything, they should. I mean, look at what Netflix is doing.
I want to see that new Wonder Woman movie. That's going to be awesome. Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh, I didn't see the previews for that.
I love these. I love the comic book movies, man.
Do you? My wife loves comic book movies.
Oh, I love them. I even like some of these DC movies, man.
The DC movies aren't as good as like the Marvel movies.
But you know what? This is going to sound corny to you, but DC releases like animated ones where they're like PG-13 and there's like actual swears and stuff in them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, DC's animated ones are awesome.
Oh, wow.
Like I just watched the Justice League Apocalypse.
Okay.
And I don't know if you heard the villain Darkseid, and they're all fighting Darkseid. It was really good. This one's really good. Yeah.
Did you see? Have you watched Ozark on Netflix?
No, I'm gonna watch that. I heard that was awesome.
Hang on one second. Oh wow! Like we had a dog fight outside.
I thought you were being attacked there.
I know. It looked like a dog fight out there. I was like, whoa!
I thought you were under attack.
I was like, what's going on here? Yeah, but I tell you what, man, it's
DC's got some good movies. They have a Harley Quinn movie too, pretty good.
Yeah, I told Lisa, speaking of dog fights in comics, I said I'm gonna get a big pit bull, one of those extra large pit bulls. Those huge like pit bulls. I'm gonna name him Thanos. I think that'd be awesome.
You like pit bulls?
Huh?
You like pit bulls? I'm a small dog guy, but I'll tell you what, the more and more I look at like those pit bulls of the American bully dogs. I'm not crazy about them dogs. I just don't trust them.
Well, you got to train them.
I just think it's in their instinct to be fighters. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh no, man.
I'm just at any time those dogs can just snap. You know
that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna teach him how to attack, and I'm just gonna like snap my fingers and he's gonna go get somebody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how I'm living, son. That's how I'm living now.
Wow.
I've went next level deep on you, son.
That's horrible.
I thought Eric's secretary was trying to deliver a message.
Very sadistic. Very sadistic.
Very sadistic. I thought Sarah J was knocking on the door.
Yeah. Wow.
That's the way it goes down in the big city, son.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on Twitter at jhabib1 and find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporterlive.com. I'm at Ringside73, and we will see you next week. We'll probably do a show sometime, maybe midweek or whatever, announcing our next fantasy tournament because, there ain't nothing going on until, the 9th? So we still got a lot of downtime left. But, hey, tune in, man. Tune in. We will catch you guys soon.
All right, guys. Be safe.